Greetings viewers, I am Chandrashekhar Nene. I study international affairs. Along with me is Suraj, the videographer. From MahaMTB channel, we wish you a very happy and prosperous new 2022. But this 2022 1st January is also a day in which a new law passed by Chinese National People's Congress, means China's rulers, comes into effect. The law is supposed to be about the welfare and stability and prosperity of border towns of China. This law is for all the border towns of China. Now, China has a land border which is a very long land border. Totally it is 22,457 kilometers. This is with 14 countries. The longest border is with Russia, is with Mongolia, then with Russia and then with India. But the law states that China will enhance the facilities for civilian population which is going to stay near the border. But in effect the law actually says that China is going to enhance the number of people staying in villages closer to the border. There is a slight deviousness into this law. International norms say that borders between two countries have to have a no man's land before both sides of the border. Now, today China's border, there are no villages, there is nobody staying, particularly the border passed through Himalayan range, and in Mongolian case also it passes through rough terrain. So, there is no villages something. Now, what China wants to do? China wants to push more of its burgeoning population into closer to their border, by which they will extend the no man's land further into the opponent's border. Like if they put these things into Arunachal Pradesh, which is southern Tibet as far as China is concerned, they will push the border away from them into India, saying that there has to be a no man's land. This is unacceptable. As a precursor to this, what China did, only yesterday they renamed 15 villages well inside Indian border in Arunachal. This is crazy. Tomorrow we will rename Beijing and call it Bijalpur. I mean, it is something as crazy as that. So, Indian External Ministry, Foreign Ministry, its Secretary Arindam Bagchi had gone on record that this invention of names means nothing to India. The Arunachal territory is an integral part of India and it is going to remain so. So, even though what China is doing is pushing its civilian population closer to the border. Actually, way back in 1946, Swatantra Veer Savarkar had written that all India's borders are with possibly hostile nations. We should at government cost settle retired army personnel into these areas. We should give them land, we should give them houses, and they should stay there because they know how to handle enemy rowdyism, enemy military, enemy conflict. They are well trained for that. Unfortunately, till now none of the government has taken seriously this big. China seems to have taken it seriously. When they say they are going to settle civilians, it is to be seen which are the civilians. Are they the retired army soldiers of China? Because Chinese army, People's Liberation Army, is a very huge, humongous army. So, there must be lots and lots of retired people there. And since economic conditions in rural China are very bad, Chinese government can give as an incentive to those people to come and settle near the border. This China is doing because recently China is becoming more and more aggressive. They are more aggressive with all their neighbors, not only India. And this has started happening diligently right after Joe Biden ignominiously unilaterally retreated from Afghanistan. The stature of United States as a superpower has taken a heavy beating after that. World over, people are thinking that USA is not strong enough now, not certainly strong enough to take on China. An effect of this is being seen at various places. Take for example the country Nicaragua, which is in the Central America, which is very close to America. You know, it's an American continent. And in Nicaragua, the President Daniel Ortega recently told Republic of China, which is Taiwan, to get out of their country. They said they don't recognize Taiwan as a separate country anymore. They would consider the PRC, People's Republic of China, that is the Beijing government, as the sole China, and Taiwan is an inalienable part of China. That is the saying of Daniel Ortega. Now they told them to get out. So naturally the Nicaraguan diplomats, the diplomats of Taiwan in Nicaragua, they sold off their embassy property to a Roman Catholic organization and they left the country. Immediately Ortega seized the area from the Roman Catholic organization and gave it to China. They said this is an embassy property, it should go to the true owners, which are China. Nicaragua is actually sitting in the lap of China for a very long time. Now Taiwanese people have gone into international court in The Hague against this move. They said this is a complete break of sovereignty agreement and all these things that are going to happen. It is started talking about that. Another example, in America there is a very charismatic billionaire called Elon Musk. He is well known because of the Tesla cars which he makes, electric cars, which by the way is also selling a lot in China, Tesla cars. But Elon Musk also has a company called SpaceX which actually manufactures rockets. His dream is to send, the company was formed in 2002, his dream is to send people to Mars to colonize Mars. So the rockets will have to be that powerful. But in the meantime, he is into launching of satellites also. His own company Starlink is an internet service provider company and they want to provide internet across the globe using satellite communication, which means it could be in any remote area and still it will be very fast internet. The speed they are giving is 150 megabytes. Its beta launch is just finishing this year. So for early next year, Starlink is going to be operational. Starlink actually needs 12,000 satellites around the globe in a polar orbit, but they have currently been able to send 1200 satellites. Two of these satellites came very near to Qingdong, which is the space station of China. Qingdong means actually a heavenly palace in Chinese. So China complained that these satellites are going to, were very close to damage our space station. They didn't complain it to Elon Musk. They actually complained to the American government. They told American government that you have to chastise and you have to discipline your corporations. They thought, just like in China, where the president of China has a complete control over all the private and semi-private companies in China, they thought Joe Biden also has a similar control. Of course, External Affairs Ministry of America has refuted all this and they said that China has no business talking this. During China's own satellite launches, they have come very close to the US space station to damage enough. So this is, but China is able to threaten United States government about things happening very close to USA border. They consider that USA is no more a powerful superpower. They consider China being a superior power now. As far as India is concerned, China is putting what is known as string of pearls around India, such as you know about that Gwadar in Pakistan, Maldives and Sri Lanka, Hambantota in Sri Lanka, there is a port in Burma, Myanmar. So they want to surround India. To do that, they are building a port in Gwadar, which is currently in deep trouble because there are a lot of demonstrations happening of that of Baluchi people in Gwadar. Then they are building relationship with Maldives. Maldives deposed president Abdullah Yamin. He was a complete Chinese puppet. He has started a new movement in Maldives called India Out. Means Indians should leave Maldives and leave Maldives to whom? To the Chinese, who will instantly take over. So that is happening in Maldives. Hambantota port, they gave a lot of loan to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was unable to pay, so they have taken over the port. So they are building these naval bases around India so as to stop Indian Navy's ability to protect its own trade. And this is what China is doing very boldly without any fear of consequences. Because China thinks that they can bully around different nations, but India is made of different metal. Indians currently are engaging China into Ladakh area where there is a standoff between both armies. They are very close to each other. Any moment there could be fire could establish there, and any moment there could be a fight and skirmishes which could become bigger and bigger. But China then engages India into talks. 13th level of Corps commander level talks have taken in London, in Ladakh, I am sorry, they have taken in Ladakh and still they are inconclusive. Because this is another Chinese strategy. What they do, they engage you into futile talks while they will keep doing elsewhere all kind of hostile activity. India should not fall into the trap of this Chinese way they are doing it. We should be very secure about guarding our territory. We should give very clear message to China that this kind of thing is not tolerated, which External Affairs Ministry is actually doing. But in reality, India should strengthen the Quad, in which US, Japan and Australia are part of the Quad along with us, and make sure that China is threatened into their own area, which is South China Sea. Let us see how this unfolds. 2022 is going to be an exciting year. 2022 is also going to be a year where there could be conflicts roaming around, one in Ukraine, one in Taiwan Strait and all these places. Let us observe very cautiously. At the same time, I will urge each of us to stay safe, stay calm, stay at home, follow the COVID norms so that Omicron doesn't come before China to threaten us. Thank you very much for watching. And please subscribe to our channel. Please press the bell icon so that all our new videos are instantly given to you. Please give your comments, because your comments actually enable and encourage us to give more and more inputs. Thank you very much for watching.